Hello, my name is Stephanie, and thank you for joining in with us. Today we'll be focusing on skin cancer, which is the most common cancer in the United States and worldwide. How to identify any potential cancerous skin growth, and how we can prevent ourselves from being at a greater risk for skin cancer. I am honored to have this opportunity to talk with a dermatologist. Hi, Dr. Jensen. Thank you for joining with us. I heard you were learning ASL in a class. Would you like to introduce yourself? The deaf, hard of hearing, and deaf-blind community have been hearing about skin cancer and preventative care. But most of the time, we don't have equal access to all information. So let's see if we can bring the information out here today. Let's start with the big question. What is skin cancer?
Skin cancer is an abnormal growth of cells from the skin. And there are three most common types we see. Basal cell cancer is the most common. Squamous cell is the second most common cancer I see. And melanoma is a cancer of the cells that cause color in the skin, melanocytes. It's also the most concerning type of cancer to get.
With most of the types of cancer, it all begins with an abnormal cell that multiply into a cluster of abnormal cells, which can lead to a cancerous tumor or a benign. I am aware that our skin has their own cells that functions differently than other cells in our body. How do skin cells become cancerous?
Skin cells become cancerous as a result of damage to the DNA. And that happens with cumulative sun exposure. UV radiation causes damage to the cells, and then they grow and multiply.
What is UV?
UV light is what comes from the sun. We see UVA and UVB. UVC stays up in the clouds above us. But that radiation causes the damage to the cells.
Please explain a little more about each of the top three you mentioned. Squamous cell cancer, basal cell cancer, and melanoma.
So basal cell carcinoma is the most common cancer we see. It often starts off as a pimple that won't heal, a wound that comes and goes, or something that bleeds easily. Usually in areas of more sun exposure, the head, neck, back. It's easily treated with surgical procedures, and it has a very low risk of moving throughout the body. It won't metastasize. Now, squamous cell cancer is a little more concerning in that it can travel through the body. It looks more scaly, rough looking, and again happens where the sun hits the skin. Head, neck, arms, back. And then melanoma is the more worrisome type of skin cancer that comes from a mole or the cells that make color in the skin. And that can travel through the body and can cause a lot of morbidity and mortality. It also has a little more risk of passing through generations. It can be hereditary. So people with a first degree relative with melanoma have to be more cautious.
We know that if we see anything different on our skin that wasn't there before, to go see a dermatologist. But what if I have some moles or freckles that look the same as the early sign of melanoma?
It's hard, and I understand that, to tell the difference between a normal freckle or mole and a skin cancer or melanoma. I think it helps to have a baseline exam with the skin specialist or dermatologist so you have an understanding, and then to look for changes in any moles you might have, and to see someone if you do have a changing mole or changing spot.
Now I have a better understanding of the 3 types of skin cancer and how to identify a potential sign of a skin cancer. Let's talk about how we can take better care of our skin and what preventative actions we should take.
Well, it's important to take care of your skin in the sun. The sun is important for us for vitamin D production, and also the sun feels good. So you don't have to hide fully from the sun, but you have to be smart in the sun. I recommend people wear sunblock on their face and their arms on a daily basis because you get a lot of sun driving around, going to the grocery store. I tell people sun is like chocolate. You don't want to eat it all day, but you can have little bits of it.
When I see different sunscreen lotions on the shelves, I get overwhelmed and so confused. There are bottles with different numbers with SPF. I try to figure out which lotion is best for me. What is SPF and why is it so important?
As far as what sunblock to use, I like to see number 30 or above. It doesn't really matter how high you go. 30 is plenty. And more importantly, I like to see certain ingredients like zinc or titanium. Those are physical sunblocks. They work as soon as you put them on. You don't need to wait. And there's so many different versions. They don't have to look so white and pasty. They can be very easy to use on a daily basis. You do need to reapply throughout the day if you're going to be out all day gardening or golfing. But I do recommend just a first layer in the morning for all the driving or errands we do. I tell people, put it by your toothpaste. You're going to brush your teeth every morning. So you link it to a habit you already do. It makes it easier.
Dr. Jensen, thank you so much for taking your time from your busy schedule to meet with me. The information you shared are so invaluable and very helpful. I might come back with more questions down the road, so let's keep in touch.
Thank you for having me here today.
People would take care of their organs by eating healthy food or avoid any potential harm to our organs. Bikers wear helmets and football players wear pads to protect our bones and organs. But people don't realize that our skin is an organ, actually the largest organ on our body. If people take extra care of themselves by adding protection gears to prevent any severe damage, why can't we do the same thing for our skin? By putting 30 or higher SPF on our skin and a hat when staying out in the sun for more than 30 minutes and do a body check for any suspicious growth, if you're not sure, it wouldn't hurt to go see a dermatologist. At Pink Wings of Hope, we have a team of volunteers, our butterflies as we call them, who have gone through their own cancer journey and is wanting to help other deaf, hard of hearing, and deaf-blind to get through theirs and not let them feel alone. If you need someone to talk with, help in finding peer support, or if you'd like to share your journey, please reach out to us and we would be happy to listen.